When Billy's dog refused to give birth, he knew he had to take action. He immediately called the local veterinarian, who didn't know what he encountered. He had never seen anything like this before. The dog didn't want to give birth. What could be the cause? But before we start, make sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Billy, Erica, and their 4-year-old son, Tim, lived together in a small town. Recently in the Anderson home, there had been a lot of sadness. And although the family had just moved into a new town and didn't know much about the town, there was another reason for this sadness. The young family had recently lost a dear member, one that had been a part of the family for 11 years, their family pet, Rio. Rio was not merely a pet, but a long-standing member of the family. You see, Rio was the first friend Billy made when he ran away from home at 16. Erica and Billy talked about it a few more times. Erica was concerned that Billy was jumping into things a bit too quickly, and Billy was doing his best to convince his wife that he was ready for the change. Eventually, Billy won Erica over, and the two decided they would get a dog. The family found themselves searching the web for a licensed breeder, as Tim really wanted a puppy. The couple was unfamiliar with the breeding world and felt the internet would offer the most options. After much searching, they found 2 terrier breeders. The couple decided to make it a weekend trip and scheduled visits with both breeders. However, their trip proved to be a little disappointing for the family. The first breeder gave off the wrong vibe from the start. Although the puppies were cute and Tim and Erica had a nice time playing with them, Billy couldn't fight the weird feeling being at the location gave him. First, it appeared that the dogs lived in uncomfortable areas. Secondly, the cost seemed questionable too. The young family didn't have much luck with the second shop either. While this breeder was cleaner and seemed to take better care of its puppies, the couple was greeted with some sad news on arrival. They had sold the very last 2 puppies online. Now Erica and Billy were stumped. Billy and Erica decided it would be best to get home and figure out a new plan. However, 15 minutes into their drive, and the couple spotted an animal shelter. The young family decided that it couldn't hurt to at least check it out. The employee explained that the dog had been left at their door just the night before and was still acquainting itself with the space. More so, since it was so new and had been left with no identification, they knew very little about the puppy other than the fact that it wasn't chipped. The Andersons wanted the puppy, but there was some hiccup. However, the employee stated that the shelter did not normally let animals go without first verifying their identity. However, it was a small town and an even smaller shelter that had not seen an adoption in many months. But would they come to regret it? The couple was overjoyed and headed in to sign the necessary paperwork. It seemed far too much like fate to let the puppy go. And finally, the young family was headed back home with their new family pet. Everyone was excited, most of all Tim, who had now made a new best friend. Unfortunately, this feeling would not forever for the family. After a year, the family really wanted puppies, but their dog did not seem like she was able to get pregnant. This is when Billy turned to an old friend of him. He told Billy that he would be able to get the dog pregnant in no time. Billy had his doubts, but went along. Billy was surprised it had actually worked. Their dog was pregnant. He was overjoyed. He doubted that everything was legit about this man and his methods, so when his dog refused to give birth, he decided to take her to the local vet. When he got to the vet, it was already crazy busy at this early hour, so they had a bit of delay and he had to wait. The waiting room was also quite full as a result, and his dog was drawing a lot of attention, mainly because of his odd characteristics. He tells the Billy and his family, who had quickly arrived, that he has informed the police and that they will soon be here to pick up Alicia. The police officer said, "Sir, you have to come with us. We have to ask you some questions." Billy did not understand this. Why did they want to question him? He did not do anything wrong, but since he had nothing to hide, he decided to answer the questions to avoid more misery. At first, the police asked simple questions. Billy had to confirm he was actually the guy they were interviewing, and he also had to confirm that Alicia was his dog. But the next questions went more into detail, which seemed strange to Billy. Why did they want to know such things? They asked how his dog got pregnant in the first place. So Billy answered that he contacted an expert that could help him with this. He also added that he did a background check on the expert to make sure everything that he did was legal. The police understood Ben and acknowledged that it was all legal, but that they still needed some more information from him. The policeman grabbed something out of his bag that Billy did not expect. The police officer had different mugshots from potential criminals. They asked Billy if he could identify someone from the pictures. Billy was shell-shocked. After seeing a lot of pictures, he saw a familiar face. It was the face of the expert that helped him to get Alicia pregnant. But why was he a suspect? Did it have something to do with the fact that Felicia could not give birth properly? We got it. At that moment, they heard a loud noise from the surgery room. We got it! The police and Billy quickly went over to the surgery room to determine what was going on. Then they saw the vet with something in his hand. What in the world was this? The vet noticed two strange things on the ultrasound, and one of them was a medical chip in Alicia's belly. When the vet saw it, he knew he had to call the police thanks to their communication. The police were looking for that chip, as it was illegally made by the expert that helped Billy. To remove the chip and trace it back to the expert, the police helped the vet with the surgery. Not only did they remove the chip, but they were also happy to help to give birth to a new little puppy, and it was not just a normal puppy. The second thing the vet noticed on the ultrasound was that this puppy was a rare specimen, which potentially could be worth loads of money. When the surgery was done and Alicia had given birth to her puppy, the vet could not believe his eyes. This was the reason they were searching for the expert. He was doing this to dogs to breed special dogs. The chip was in place to keep track of the dogs, to eventually steal the puppies from the owners to make a load of money. Thanks to Billy, they managed to extract the chip without damaging it. This way, they managed to locate the expert. They did this by using the exact same device he would use to track down the dogs. He got a taste of his own medicine. The vet asked what Billy wanted to do with the puppy. He was really healthy. According to the police, Billy wasn't breaking any laws by keeping the specimen. He was also allowed to sell the dog since he was the Lega owner. This was a really rare specimen that he'd never seen before. The vet told Billy that it was a 1 in a million chance that this would happen. This puppy could be worth loads of money. But Billy had only one thing on his mind. He wanted to keep his new puppy that he named Murphy. After they went through all this, he knew that he and this dog had a special bond that he would never break. After everything, the police were also able to track down the expert and lock him up. So after all, Billy and his family could happily live together with their dogs.